All right, I heard on the radio last night. I couldn't believe it. I was like, is this a gag story? So I had to look it up, and sure enough, it's true. An 11-year-old girl was knocked up by her 13-year-old boyfriend in London, and they had a baby yesterday, or today, whenever it was. Whatever, it doesn't really matter. What were you doing when you were 11 years old? That's what I asked myself. I was like, I was trying to beat Altered Beast on the Sega Genesis when I was 11 years old. Thinking about getting a girlfriend and knocking her up. In fact, I didn't even understand, I'll straight up truth, when I was 11 years old, I didn't even know what sex was. I didn't understand it. By the way, there's a link in the video description, an article from the Daily Standard, detailing this and showing everything and whatever. Anyway, I don't know what I want to say here, people, because in that article, it kind of paints the picture of this is a very hopeful situation. The girl is of parents that are very supportive, which is great, and the mother is saying things and quoted in the interview saying, this is true love. She wants to marry this boy. She's deeply in love with him, and that the mother sympathizes with the situation because she was a teenage mother. And to all that, I'd have to say, what do you know about true love when you're 11 years old? And you may have been a teenage mother yourself, Mom, but your daughter isn't even a teenager yet. This is a whole different ball of wax having a kid when you're not even a teenager yet. The girl has since turned 12. I think it's last month. Anyways, all the information's in the article. Anyway, God, it's one of those days where I'm going to say 50,000 times because my brain just can't even think in one straight line for this. 'Cause it's just... Anyway. Is something like this something that we should just be like, this is just an abomination, this is disgraceful, how could this happen? Or should we just be like, well, whatever, if they have the ability to procreate at that age, then they should be able to procreate at that age, and we shouldn't judge them for it or anything like that. I mean, part of me wishes these interviewers would say, what was your daughter doing having sex at 11 years old? Or talk to the father's parents saying, what was your son doing banging an 11-year-old and knocking her up? I don't know. Are you guys out there outraged by this? Are you happy that there's, the sympathetic parents that are going to help raise the kid and everything? And my God, again, could you imagine if you had a child in your life when you were 11 years old that you had to care? Would you hire an 11-year-old to be your babysitter? All right, this girl is more than a babysitter. This girl is a mother at 11. And she's talking about she wants to go on and marry this kid, and it's true love and all that. At 11 years old, you should be worrying about what topping you want on your ice cream sundae. That should be your biggest concern in life. Not whether or not you're going to run out of diapers. Or worse. God forbid the kid gets sick or anything like that. But you know what? There's something else in this article that really got my attention. And this is kind of a little bit off of the main topic here, but it's still on the general topic. And I'll put it on the screen here because I don't even want to read it. I want you guys to read it for yourselves. Because I want to see if you have the same reaction I did. Alright, here it is. Wait, time out! Time out! Time the fuck out! I might not be a biologist or female, contrary to popular belief, but isn't it biologically impossible to have a child at the age of 5? How the hell could a child at the age of 5, 1, get knocked up, and 2, birth a child? Don't you, without getting into detail, have to be having your menstrual cycle? And I don't even talk about health class here, but all right, maybe this was a one rare exception where a girl started having her period when she was still barely out of her toddler years, and whatever act of rape conceived this, because I don't think you can use consensual sex to describe a 5-year-old getting knocked up. Anyway, I saw that in the article. I was like, wait a second, what? There was a 5-year-old that had a baby? How is that possible? The mother and son are going to be going to the same school. Like, oh, is that your brother? No, that's my son. What? I'm sorry. I just wanted to have a little bit of ridiculous news here on this Friday. But going back to the 11 and the 13-year-old, what do you guys think about this? Is this something that we in society should shun so that, you know, I don't know. It's kind of like if we paint this with a positive light, more 13-year-old boys will be like, oh, okay, don't worry, our parents will help raise our kids if I knock up my girlfriend. All of a sudden, I figured out what sex is, and I want to have sex with my 11-year-old girlfriend. Fucking hell. Jesus Christ. What is this world coming to? Or where was this world at, I should say, because I'm sure this has happened before in the past. My God, again. I can remember hearing the George Michael song, I Want Your Sex. I must have been like 10 or 11 when that came out. I was like, I don't even know what this guy is singing about, but he wants it. I hope he gets it someday. And little do we know, George Michael was getting more than enough of it from both sides of the plate. Anyway. What do you guys think about this? Because I'm just like, again, it's great that the parents are helping to raise this kid and all, but why are you getting knocked up at 11? That's what I would say. I'd be like, excuse me, but why was your daughter having sex at 11? I mean, how could you not have some sort of parental control enough over your daughter's life to make sure she wasn't getting fucking knocked up at the age of 11? Maybe that's just the too strict of a parent in me trying to say that, but I'm all hypothetical outside of the situation here. So I'm more interested to hear what you guys think. So anyways, everyone out there, have a great day, a better tomorrow. And if you don't understand what sex is and you're too young to understand, don't look into it. Just wait till you're 25. All right? Then you can look into it and experiment with it. Have a good day, everyone.